All right, good morning and thanks for joining us this morning on Weekend Sports Roundup. This is our very first edition of the show, and this is a show organized to bring you up to speed with the latest sporting action in Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today, as you know, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be doing battle with the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco in the WAFCON Women Africa Cup of Nations final. And of course, we're bringing you details of that game that will be coming up as the Falcons aim to make it a decimal 10 winning their 10th championship. And of course, the Atlas Lionesses are eyeing their very first championship. Who will carry the day? We'll be finding out. We have our man, the general manager media for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, my very good friend, Samuel Amadou. He's right there in Rabat, Morocco, and he'll be joining us live in a few minutes to give us details of exactly the state of mind of the young ladies who are set to do Nigeria proud. After that, of course, don't forget, the Charm Eagles just departed 2 days ago for Zanzibar for the African Nations Championship, where, of course, you know that Nigeria has never done well. I think the last time we did anything was be on the podium, coming out third. We've never won it. With the joining of the team by the Super Eagles gaffer, Chelle, we're hoping that Nigeria will do something better this time around. Of course, so we look at that. Also, the D Tigers are in Cote d'Ivoire. They'll be taking on Rwanda later today. We'll be talking about that. A provisional list of 17 men have also been released by the Nigerian Basketball Federation for the D Tigers for their own Afro basket that will also be coming up later in the year. All these and more. And of course, there is a big death in the world of sports. We shall be doing tribute to somebody very important to the world of wrestling, maybe at the end of the program. All these and more will be coming your way on the Weekend Sports Roundup. My name is Ernest Osobwe. We'll take this short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the sporting action. Stay with us. All right, thanks for joining us and being there. I understand that if Sam Amadou is on, joining us from Rabat to look at the situation with the Super Falcons, a few hours to the game. I don't know if I can get Sam Amadou there. Good morning, Sam. Okay, let's take this short break. So we're having some technical hitches. Let's see if we can get Sam Amadou on the line so he can give us up to speed with what is going on in the Super Falcons camp. Stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Saturday, 2 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
Voice of the People Television awuchiela o onye nụ ya ka ọrụ ibe ya. Ị chọrọ ịmata akụkọ ndị gbara n'akwụkwọ akụkọ dị iche iche n'ala anyị kwa ụbọchị. Ị chọrọ ịmata ka o si afịatụ na ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị, agụmakwụkwọ, azụmahịa, ime njem, ọbụla dị egwuregwu. Mgbasonyere anyị n'oge ndị Igbo na Voice of the People Television. Anyị nwere ndị ọbịa bụ ọkachamara bụkwa ndị ga-enye aka tapịa isiokwu ndị anyị jiri bịa kwa ụbọchị. Anyị ga-eji ka o siri gbaa n'akwụkwọ akụkọ dị iche iche wee malite tupu anyị akọzie n'uju n'ubi onye anyị bịara na nke ya.
Ịgbamụrụ nzem ọzọ kedu ka o si aga ya gaziere onye ukwu ma gaziere onye nta.
Mkparịta ụka tọrọ atọ ka anyị ga-ewetara gị bụkwa nke ga-eme ka ịmata ka ihe si aga n'ala anyị bụ Naịjirịa ọbụla dị na mba ofesi. Oge ndị Igbo.
All right, thanks for staying with us here on VOP Television, reaching you live from our studios here in the center of Abuja. It's a of our program where we bring you all the sporting action across the country, across Africa, and of course across the world. Formula One, you name it, MotoGP, cycling, of course, basketball, and all of that. So this morning we are ready to be talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria have made it to the final of the Women Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, and they'll be taking on the host team of the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco, who were in the final, the last edition, but were pipped by South Africa through the title. So maybe they are aiming to take it now. But the Super Falcons are actually on a mission for a 10th Africa women's title. Can the Lionesses stop them? I understand that my colleague Sam Amadou is joining us virtually. Good morning. Good morning, Sam. I don't know, we'll have some hitches. Anyhow, the point is the Super Falcons have made it to the final. There were some hitches while they were playing the group games, defeating Tunisia by 3-0. I think they beat Algeria. They had a draw with Algeria where they couldn't score, and there was a lot of complaints about without the striking boots of the Super Falcons who were left behind after the very first game. But then into the quarterfinals, they unleashed themselves on the Zambians, who had two of the best strikers prior, or rather at the beginning of the championship. And that led to the Super Falcons defeating Zambia by 5-0 to make it to the semi-finals, where they made arch right South Africa. The funny thing for me is that there is an impression being created by South Africa that the Manana Banyana and the Super Falcons are big rivals. If you check through the records, that is not exactly the truth. Banyana has won only one African title, while the Super Falcons are actually gone in for their 10th. So if you check the list of how many times they have met, it's lopsided in favor of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And that means that it has been a lopsided. All right, I see that Sam. Good morning, Sam. How are you doing, Sam?
Great to be part of the show. Always a pleasure talking from here.
Sam, look, you're looking very handsome. I hope you're not distracting our girls from going to leave that 10th title. You're looking very handsome from here. I hope you're not distracting them.
Instead, you should be paying me for boosting them to reaching this stage, because many Nigerians didn't expect them to come this far. So most likely, probably my ginger and my, could be a factor.
Okay, Sam, I trust you. Now, Sam, what time is it there in Rabat, Morocco? What time is it now?
Yeah, well, on the same time, because it's summer already, it's also in the morning here. It's 10 minutes past 11, as I think it might be on your clock. So we're on the same.
Okay, fantastic.
Time.
Fantastic. Sam. What I'm asking is, I'm trying to track the time between now and when the Super Falcons will be fighting out on the field of play against their opponents. Like how many hours between now and that time? That's about 7 hours, 8 hours from now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be about 10 hours actually, because it's by 9 p.m.
Okay. Game is starting at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Yeah, so that's
all right, Sam.
10 hours.
Straight into the nitty-gritty. What is the state of the camp? How are the Super Falcons feeling? Are they ready to do Nigeria proud later tonight?
I think they've been ready from the one set go, especially since they got into the tournament or step into Morocco. And when you see how they turned out against Portugal in the friendly, they show like a team that is really eager to do something. And they entered Casablanca, beating Ghana 3-0 in that friendly, which was played outskirts of Casablanca. And before they get to kick off their tournament. And I think I must give credit to the NFF, despite the challenges they had arranging games for the team from November to April. They managed to get this one through, and it was a fantastic effort they put up, and this definitely helped the team, helped the coaches to really be able to galvanize the team, set up themselves differently, and at least see how best to tactically put the team in good shape. And we're also fortunate with the quality of teams we also face in the group stage, and I think having a great test against Tunisia, regardless of the number of goals, but it exposed a lot of lacunas also in the team, especially our attacking strength. So we could see how it turned out also against Botswana, that we struggled to score, even though we eventually won. And against Algeria, even though I know we turned out a very different set of team, but regardless, we couldn't come out of that game with a win. But realistically, it must give credit to the coach for how he managed the squad. Understanding this is his game, looking at the number of matches you've got to play and the spacing, you definitely need to manage your squad very well. At the group stage, you already have more than 21 players who played in the group stage matches. So imagine that he's deliberately carrying everyone along, no player, except for the player from the US, Malawian Nigerian, who was injured. That was the reason for her non-inclusion, though she's fine. So maybe we could see her today. But regardless, outside the two goalkeepers, I think with all players, our players have really been able to have themselves tested in this tournament. And this somewhat builds the unity in the team, and at least has snowballed into how they perform. You saw against Zambia when many didn't give them a chance. Like you mentioned earlier, the two best strikers, you could say, two of the best strikers in the world, who couldn't even find the back of the net against Nigeria. This tells you how the team has grown through every game, and also how far they've really improved and the work Madugu is doing. He understands these girls. He's working to their strengths, and this is just the reason why things are just gelling for him. So, and you can't ignore the fact that yes, this girl has fallen with a great ambition. They know how it turned out the last time. You definitely they don't need any extra motivation to know that they have to come back to this stage and not create an unwanted history by failing to win back-to-back. But they want to also join the heroines of the Super Falcons by not just achieving Mission X, but also writing their names in the annals of history of the Super Falcons as WAFCON winners. So we have great experience, blend of youth and experienced players, and this goes a long way. Just yesterday in their last training, the newbies, that's the 11 debutants, were showing appreciation also to the senior ones who have been in the tournament before. This is just to build chemistry in the team, build unity, and honestly, I give credit to Madugu. He's learned over the years since being part of the national team since 2008. He's grown, going to work with the Super Falcons that won in 2014, the team that won in 2018, and now he obviously seems to have come of the age. And sincerely, I see him doing better than many of the foreign coaches we've engaged in the past. And this is it. The result speaks for itself. And at this stage, as much as we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, we know what is obtainable today, and I think the team is hungry to go all out against Morocco today. We've been there before. We've won in grants where many never imagined, in South Africa, in Cameroon, in Ghana.
Yes, Sam, I know. Sam, I know. We'll come to that. We'll come to that, Sam.
Like this.
We'll come to that, Sam. Yeah, let me stay with you on the coach, Justin Madugu. See, Sam, we had a private discussion, you and I, after the list of the Super Falcons for this competition was released. We saw players like Gift Monday being left out and a couple of other very great players. Do you see what you're saying now is that with what has happened, has it proven that Justin Madugu knows exactly what he's doing in the fact that some of these very great players of the Super Falcons are left behind and here the team is just on the verge of clinching the title?
Yeah, sincerely, I don't want to hold any brief for the coach, but for someone who I'm also very much close to, I also understand his work ethics. He's managed to galvanize this team together. It's not because this is all the best players we have in Nigeria. No, we have those. He's also very pained by the issue of leaving some of them out. We know a lot of them that could have really done a lot in this. But the truth is, you have to also put belief in the players that you've chosen, regardless of what factors may have arisen. And I think as much as he's also involved in this tournament, he's already thinking about the post-tournaments, even though I've not been able to get him on tape. He's been talking about the post-tournaments, the players that many think are not in. But again, it puts extra pressure on the players that are in, that they need to prove that they are meant to. That if you don't do well, you know, the likes of Gate Monte, Joy Omewa, Bolaji Olamide, and quite a number of them are on the sidelines to come and take over your space. So it also puts a lot of pressure and raise the competition level in the team. You know that in a team like this, as much as you're playing, I know I've engaged a few players that told me that if they get to play 30 minutes in these Madugu's matches, the players will be proud of themselves because everybody is hungry. The energy, the spirits, the enthusiasm to want to play is so high. And even players that know they are seeing themselves on the bench don't even complain because you see that somebody you are competing with is far hungrier and maybe in better shape than you do. So you definitely need to manage the expectations and just take the moment you have and make the best of it. So sincerely, you must take nothing away from Madugu. He's been able to keep them together, keep them united. You can imagine, naturally, when you see back in the days, players not started, you see them coming with lethargy and whatever. But you imagine that the players who even do well the most in this tournament are those that came from the bench. That says you something. He's managing the team, his man management is amazing, and this is why, regardless of whoever makes the team, he would get results with anybody. So anybody who has found themselves in these tournaments were just fortunate. And doesn't mean that no other person was better at the job than them. No, it's just by providence that they're in the team. So, but regardless, whoever is in, obviously, it's because they believe in them, and the belief is what the players have also given back to the coach.
All right, fantastic, Sam. Now, you were mentioning just now about the issue of playing in hostile environments. Yesterday, I was on Twitter, and I saw some people telling Nigerian fans in Rabat they need to have their lasers in order to retaliate against the Moroccans who may try to use all kinds of shenanigans to distract the players when they're on the field of play. You also mentioned, I remember when the Super Falcons won in Yaoundé, Cameroon, with Paul Biya right there on the field of play, thinking he was going to lead the trophy to the indomitable lionesses of Cameroon. Now, this is the challenge. Are we ready to embarrass? Because definitely there is no way in African football home teams still go out there to pull a lot of tricks to win over the referees. I understand that this referee from Namibia will be taking on this team, and Sino Twanyan Jukwa from Namibia. I don't know. Is Madugu preparing the team to deal with the antics of the Moroccans, who may want to emotionally blackmail the referees and the officials to have things go their way? And of course, the hostile crowd. Are they prepared for all of that?
Well, if you're asking this, definitely it seems like you are unreminded about the experience they had in 2022. They played against Morocco in the semifinals. And, despite even being 2 players down due to red card and VAR decisions, they never looked like a team that was ready to bow. Even with 9 players, even the Moroccans were terrified because the truth is, the Super Falcons have defied all odds, and the interesting part is we fortunately have players from various generations who has also been part of the team. the likes, some of them who participated in the 2016 edition, will always be reminded by their teammates, by their coaches. Madibu was part of the setup in Morocco, even though he was not in Yaoundé, but he's been part of the team, and he was part of them in Namibia. So the occasions where they had, even in Ghana, he was involved. So he was involved in the last Morocco game. So he's also very much informed. So from one angle, the interesting part of this thing is the unity has also helped them bond well. So those who were part of the past memory bring the other players to speed. This is how we do it. Ignore, they shut their ears, lock down everything around them. What happens on the pitch is what the focus is on. So, and it was what we saw against Zambia. Nobody cared whether there was fans or nothing. The tension is, it's as if you're going to retaliate, but at the same time, that was what inspired the energy. You've seen how the guys came out with all God blazing. You beat us 1-0, you think you are at our level at all. That's the 5 minutes. So for me, just expect the team is fully aware of, even more than what you imagine. They are very much aware of things you never imagined. This is more than a grudge match. This is more just than a match. It is legacy. It is the players heroic put on the line. They want to make mark for themselves. They want to showcase themselves. They want to make history. Mission X wasn't just a joke. We are here, and I believe that they want to see this through. And honestly, I don't know why I'm having this great confidence. I believe that within the first half, we should have the game almost done and dusted.
Sam, you are speaking like you have your boots right on the ground. Sam, exactly that. I won't let you go because I have a few other issues related to things that I want to talk about. Before we drop the issue of the Super Falcons, Nigerians want to hear that again from you. Will we be drinking kunu and zobo from that trophy in the next few hours?
Well, that is in the hands of the players, the coaches, everybody is aware. And thankfully, the president has given a marching order for the first time in a long time that we are not having any issue of bonuses. Regardless, the players have been very focused from the beginning, whether there's bonus or not. The targets from the World Set Go is we are here to make a mark. And joyfully, teams that rubbish us the last time, we've managed to see off 2 of them. Morocco is the third, and I think when that is completed today, it seems that the cleansing has been fulfilled. So I think this is a team on mission, and when they say mission, it wasn't just an ordinary slogan. It is a call, and it's a call to duty for the player. So I'm anxious to see how it will pan out, but trust me, these guys knows what they're up against, and they're definitely out to do Nigerian proud.
All right, fantastic, Sam. Now, some issues came up here in Nigeria from the National Sports Commission. I just want to get your take because they're the general manager of the Super Falcons in their media. You are also the secretary of the Sports Writers Association FCT chapter, that's SWAN. And of course, you are the managing editor of Savid News, a sports website that is based here in Abuja. Sam, just 2 days ago, was it yesterday, the NSC was distributing sports equipment to members of the House of Representatives for their 360 constituencies in Nigeria and saying they want to use it to encourage sports in Nigeria. Also, the chairman, Shehu Diko, was talking about hosting Formula One in Nigeria. And for me, I feel that Formula One is for very rich countries that are doing very well. So I believe that it's great to be ambitious. The last time South Africa hosted it was still under apartheid in 1993. For now, we are still talking about the cost of Gary beans and yam. And so I don't think Abuja is ready for Formula One, but it's great to be ambitious. But of course, the issue is the National Sports Commission distributing sports equipment to members of the House of Representatives who are politicians. I know a lady, a retiree from Voice of Nigeria. Her name is Mrs. Olotu. She's a widow as well. And the last time Godwin Kienka was in Abuja for a tennis event, she came to meet me, asking me to help her to get sponsorship. She's training about 300 young ladies in gymnastics at the National Stadium here in Abuja, where Shehu Diko has his offices. What is your take on Shehu Diko and Bukola Olopade, the Director General, taking sports equipment to members of the National Assembly when there are sports clubs there are individuals working to raise sports knowledge in Nigeria that need those things more. Do you think that is proper? Or what is your take on that? And of course, the issue of hosting Formula Abuja. As a sports writer, Sam, what is your take, please, before I let you go?
Yeah, for me, I think matters like this, definitely we have our strength in addressing conversations like this. Besides the fact that, for me, I love to apply the internal mechanism, which is engaging, not being somewhat confrontational, engaging in the sense that maybe reaching out for questions, and from there you could size up the mood of those involved. And realistically, sometimes I don't like when we sit like armchair critics without engaging those involved to like hear them out first, give them the benefit of the doubt. So the feedback from them would definitely go along, because they know that when you go out to write or to say something in the media, it would somewhat be like an attack. So I think it would be fair we potentially just seek more ways of engagements, relate to them. This is it. Whatever the responses are, I think it should also give us a leeway to potentially see how best to take it up a notch. So I think it's as much as we demand accountability from these people in positions, I think it's also important that our mode of engagement is critical. So for the needs, we have a lot of people seeking support. You have various events happening across the country, and they are giving support to many events that you could see around. So it will come down to engagement. It's come down to who is leading what in terms of dialogue, in terms of collaboration, to ensure that the support comes. And when you say this on one hand, you also have individuals who are getting the support from them, not because they have two heads, but potentially maybe how they manage to get access to those positions. So it's crucial if we could work out of options of engaging. People are getting support, I can't deny that. Even though if I've not gotten, doesn't mean people are not. So I think we probably need to consider the chances of really dialoguing with the Sports Commission, so ensure that yes, the various needs that need to be met, the various opportunities that need to be created and also invested in are really taken care of. But on the side of the Formula One, I've been saying that in the media, and I think for me, I think it's a good one. Realistically, it's a good one, because now we're seeing the private sector waking up to realities like this. This definitely may not be a government-sponsored or bankrolled event, activity. With the private sector are very keen about this. Some great minds should be behind this. And I know that such moves have been made around the stadium for a long time. And it's just important as a government, it's important as a sports commission that they also support whatever initiative that is coming up. Some of them will clamor for a long time for the inclusion of the private sector. Now they are coming in different ways, different sports springing up, and we just need to key into it, because this would definitely make Nigeria better. But this is what we're saying in Morocco. Almost every sporting event is happening in Morocco. And this event will be like the third or fourth major event that is happening in Morocco. So what I was saying, the women's under-17 World Cup is coming up. The men's AFCON is still coming up. This is even outside seminars and what have you. So you imagine how Morocco have turned themselves to a hub. They fought politically to ensure they have the control of Africa, even come to apply to be in ECOWAS, which was blocked by Nigeria. But now they are here. EU too, they don't seem to find their voice. So they managed to use sports to make themselves the next top hub, the big hub in Africa. And this is it. So you can imagine in women's football, a country that has not been at the women's AFCON for almost 10 years, only came back in 2022 to begin to find themselves into reckoning, reaching back-to-back finals. This speaks volume. And I think this is a strategy we must apply to ensure that we are, and that is why, because the president of the federation is very much ambitious. The government and kingdom of Morocco is very ambitious. So they see the opportunity in sport and they are taking advantage of it. I think this is an aspect we need to clamor for more inclusion, for more engagement, and also for more investment, especially from the private sector.
Okay, Sam, I agree with you there. Ever so diplomatic. You also know that Shehu Diko got this job as the NSC chairman based on the fact that his ability to rein in the private sector, not necessarily government sector. So I agree with you. But you think it's possible to build a Monaco-like Formula One circuit that involves street usage of streets or the one in Silverstone in England, or the ones in Germany or Spain. You know, like you said, there's been a lot of these overfed kids, children of politicians who have these high-end cars, using this road behind the National Mosque and the CBN that comes out the front of the National Christian Center, using it as Formula One every Sunday and getting people injured sometimes. So maybe I feel that there is pressure from maybe the very top-end Nigerians that Formula One needs to come. You think Chelle has the clout to bring them in for us to build like a circuit like the one in Silverstone or the one in Monaco?
Yeah, realistically for me, I think this is even practically beyond Chelle. I think we have two people in government, even the president himself, the wife of the president. These people are also sports inclined. At least I'm fortunate to be in Fora, as you saw, even at the volleyball, African volleyball. The wife of the president was there physically, and she was there for a couple of hours, to see. That's not football, but volleyball. So when they are properly engaged, why not? They will key into things like this. And as much as the president does not attend a football match, doesn't mean he's not supportive. You imagine the process in which and how swift it was in which he sacked the sports ministry to set up the sports commission. So all these were lying in state for many years. That's one litigation, one questions or the other was being raised. But he came and just took action. So I think the truth is the best times are yet to come. Those in position also need to put their acts together, ensure that yes, they see best how to deliver on the promises they've made. And I think at this moment, I don't want to be too critical because one, it's not easy to build a house. It's easy to destroy, but building a house will take a while. But regardless, we also must have all hands on deck and see potentially how we can also be involved in the process of building. Like you said, I don't think anything's impossible in life. Whatever is possible, the only important thing is when we don't have the resources, then definitely we may be chasing a mirage. So I think it's important we get to engage those sectors involved, especially seeing the ambitious effort they are making regarding this Formula One idea. And I think it's not a bad idea with seeing this come to life. I believe it will somewhat really build up our sporting economy and also add each value to the country.
Okay, very well said, Sam. Now, Sam, as I begin to wind down with you to let you go, I know, like you say, you're very busy with the Falcons, trying to ensure that everything, all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. We want to take our felicitations from here to them. Tell them we're expecting nothing less. But your final words to Nigerians, since you are the person right there with the team in Morocco, before the game later today, what is this final confidence builder that you have for Nigerians as they look forward to Nigeria making that decimal number 10 by the Super Falcons?
Yeah, for me, I think it's been a great joy to see how Nigerians have rallied the team, and one cannot be appreciative enough for how far they've been supportive. As much as we have a few Nigerians here, even the supporters club couldn't get due to lack of visas, but realistically, we must give credit to Nigerians who have always shown their support across the media. We've seen so much following. The Missionaries campaign is a global trend already, and there's power behind the number. And the population of Nigeria shows that, yes, everybody is governated towards Nigeria achieving these Missionaries. And, winning WAFCON seems like being African champions or world champions already in the face of it. So I think the girls also can feel this. They feel the impulse of Nigeria. They are Nigerians. They don't just want to make themselves proud, but they want to make Nigerians smile. So I think this is one of the major motivations behind the ladies going into this final game. And I believe that definitely they will leave nothing to chance but bring smile and trophy to Nigeria later tomorrow to ensure that yes, the celebration envelops Nigeria. And probably we could declare a public holiday for the Super Falcons Cup of Nations.
Sam Amadu, the General Manager of Media for the Super Falcons. He doubles as well as the Secretary of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, FCT chapter. And of course, he's the Managing Editor of Savid News, a sports news website based in Abuja here. Sam, All the best to you on the team as you guys get ready to make Nigeria proud later today. Thank you so much for joining us on VOP Television on this morning's edition of Weekend Sports Roundup. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me. And we look forward to a joyful evening later today.
Have a wonderful day, man. All the best. All right, so welcome back into the studio there. There we're talking with Sam Amadou, who is speaking with us all the way from Rabat, Morocco. Within the Super Falcons of Nigeria and of course the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Both teams they dispatched the Ghanaians by 1-0. All right, it was 1-1 and they squeezed in via penalties, while the Super Falcons defeated the South African counterpart by 2-1. The Super Falcons have not played a single penalty in this game, meaning they've been dominant in all their performances. We'll take a break now. When we come back, a list for the Championship of African Nations has been released. And of course, the team jetted out a couple of days ago to Zanzibar, where they intend, for the very first time, to do Nigeria proud. When we come back, we'll be scrutinizing that list to see what we can do, Nigeria and Eric Chelle, with that. Stay with us.
Extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
All right, you're onto Weekend Sports Roundup, reaching from VOP Television from our studios here in the center of Abuja, specifically Area 8 in Gariki, Abuja. My name is Ernesto Sobwe. A wonderful time so far. Now, the Championship of African Nations will soon be getting underway, and the team for Nigeria has been released by the Super Eagles coach, that is Eric Chelle. He released the list, and the team has traveled to Zanzibar, where we believe they'll be taking on their counterparts and joining them. Of course, the goalkeepers are Henry Ozemena Ane of Inyimba FC. We have Nuruddin Badmus of Kwara United, Lawal Mustafa of Shooting Stars, and of course you have defenders, Sadiq Ismaila of Remo Stars, Bankole Hafiz, Kwara United, Taiwo Abdul Rafiu of Rivers United, Uzondo Harrison, Ikurudu City, Junior Harrison Ndoka. I hope those names don't get confused. They don't have the same names on the back of their shirts when the championships start. Junior Harrison Ndoka is of Remo Stars, while Uzondo Harrison is, of course, of Ikurudu City. Ngenge Leonard is of Ikorodu City as well. We have Stephen Manuel Egbe of Rivers United. And these are the defenders. Going to the midfield, we have Adebayo Olamilekan of Remo Stars, Alex Uyowa of Remo Stars, Hadi Haruna, Remo Stars, Otaniyi Taufik is of Rivers United, Michael Tochukwu, Remo Stars, Akoni Kudus is of Remo Stars, and of course those two poaching the goal, those things that Osimhen used to do when he plays football, the Thierry Henrys and all of that of this team are Anas Yusuf from Nasarawa United. We have Shola Adelani of Ikorodu City, Sikiru Alimi of Remo Stars, Temitope Vincent is of Plateau United, Ijoma Anthony is of Abia Warriors, Godwin Obaje, Rangers International, and of course, Jabbar Malik of Remo Stars. It's a belief that for the first time, there is the need for the Chan Eagles, like they are called, the home-based Eagles, that they need to do well. Over time, of course, Nigeria, based on the level of our league, we've not been doing well at the CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, and the rest of that. And people have complained. But the chairman of the National Sports Commission, the NSC, Diko, has come out to say some time ago that his target is to be selling players abroad. I think I've written something on that for some newspapers before, that his target, that Brazil has the highest number of football exports around the world. And so his aim is for Nigeria to rival Brazil as the country with the highest number of footballers around the world. And so what he wants is for young Nigerian players, Nigeria to be earning foreign exchange, footballers to be earning foreign exchange for Nigeria. And those are the reasons, as well as bringing the private sector into sports management in Nigeria and sponsorship. Those are the reasons why the president opted for Shehu Diko. So many people may have complained and said, what is Shehu Diko's pedigree in terms of sports management, maybe with the LMC and all of that. But of course, Shehu Diko, very, very in-depth. Like Sam, my friend, said a few minutes ago, let's not criticize. It's important to engage and find out exactly what is he doing. How far can the Chan Eagles go in Zanzibar? How far can they go? So let's support them, and as well as the coach, Eric Chelle, and see, maybe for the very first time, Nigeria will get to lift that trophy, and let's see exactly what the Chan Trophy looks like. We can't be the big giant of Africa, doing well in football and all of that, and when it comes to local football, you have countries like Senegal, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, South Africa winning trophies locally, and then we don't do well in the CAF Champions League or in the CAF Confederations Cup. So let's see for the first time that maybe the jinx of the Championship of African Nations will be broken when the Super Eagles of Nigeria file out, and then hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be singing new tunes. We'll be keeping you updated as to their performance in that team. So if you stay tuned to this channel. Still moving forward, we also have that the D Tigress, they have arrived in Abidjan, the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, where they also will be hoping to defend their title. This is a title they've won 4 times in a row, and they're going for the 5th win. Before now, it was challenging for Nigeria, dealing with countries like Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Rwanda, Angola, and the rest of them, who seem to be better than us in basketball. But of recent, with Rana Nwakama and the rest of the members of the team, I understand that Senegal, in fact, actually just employed the former coach of the D Tigress. What is his name again? I'll get that, because they wanted to see there. It's on your screen now, the final roster for Afro Basket. The D Tigress will be taking on Rwanda later today. I think that's about at about 6 o'clock later this evening. They'll be taking on Rwanda in their very first game. They're in the Group D with Rwanda and Mozambique on their way to C. So we have Promise Amukamara, Ezine Kalu, Elizabeth Balogun, Amy Okonkwo, Nicole Enabosi, Palace Kunani, Victoria Macaulay, Viera Ujenua, Blessing Ejiofor, Ifunanya. Let me thank you for keeping that. Ifunanya Okoro, Sarah Ogoke, and Murjanatu Musa. And there you can see the coach there being used as the poster girl. This young lady was celebrated at the recently concluded Olympic Games in France as one of the top coaches there, based on her motivational approach and her tactical display in rallying the Tigress to do Nigeria proud at the Olympic Games in France just a few months ago. So hopefully the ladies, Nigerian ladies, will be able to do us proud again as we retain this trophy for the 4th time. That is for the 5th time, defending it for the 4th time. And we're looking forward to that. On the other side as well, the Nigerian Basketball Federation has equally released a list, a provisional list actually, of the players for the 17 players, from which it will be trimmed down to 12 before they travel for the D Tigers, actually. And let's see, I think I have that one here or somewhere. Let's see, we have the list of D Tigers. Yes, that is correct. We have the list of D Tigers. Yes, help me keep that D Tigers on the screen. The D Tigers is the list of 17 basketballers who will be hoping to do Nigeria proud for the D Tigers. We have Chukwuji, Caleb Agada, Mike Nuga, Talib Zana, Peter Olisemeka, Divine Eke, Karim Joseph, Wesley Iwundo, Ugochukwu Simon, Stanley Okoye, Folabomi Fayemi, Emmanuel Omogo, there's Christian Mekowolo, Martins Igbano, Richie Akpobundo Ehiogo, and of course Jekiri Tonya. That's the list of 17 players for the D Tigers. That is on the male side of the Nigerian basketball team. And this will be pruned down to about 12 before the team departs to go do Nigeria proud. They've not been doing so well in recent years. And of course, there is the hope that for this time they failed to make the cut for the Olympic Games in France. And of course, since they lost their title, we've been waiting for the Nigerian Basketball Federation to actually do very well with the D Tigers. But of course, it's happened in athletics, and of course in basketball, in wrestling, in weightlifting. The Nigerian women seem to be carrying the day. And the guys, look, I don't know what to say. Guys, you need to up your game. We need to jack those boots up and see what us, the men, can do so we can begin to compete with these ladies. And so the ladies are talking now that what the Super Eagles get, the Super Falcons don't get it. What the D Tigers get, what the D Tigers get, D Tigers don't get it. They are the D Tigers. There you have the list. They are going to for the 5th title win in Africa, defeating countries like Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Rwanda, you name it, Angola. And here we are fumbling. So look, let's see how the men can go, and let's see how far we have to go. I'm getting signals that our time is rounding out, but of course we can't go away without talking about some other sports away from Nigeria, where the Tour de France is on, and today is day 20, where we'll be having. So I have the general classification up there. If you can help me put it up for the Tour de France. The 19th stage was run yesterday, and Feynman Arensman of Netherlands of Ineos Grenadiers won in a time 2 hours 46 minutes and 6 seconds with Jonas Vingegaard, who we expected to give Tadej Pogacar a real run for his money, failing to actually up his game. And as it stands, let's see the general classification now. Yes, this is the general classification here for the Tour de France, where Tadej Pogacar of Slovenia. No, yes, get the other one. This is for stage yesterday. No, get the other frame. The other frame is for the. Thank you so much. That is, yeah, that's the one for the general classification. You have Tadej Pogacar there, holding it a 4 minutes 24 seconds lead over his greatest rival, Jonas Vingegaard. Both of them have struggled to win the Tour de France in the last 6 years. If Tadej wins on Sunday, that is him raising his hands. We're expecting to see him at the Champs-Élysées on Sunday doing exactly this pose as he takes the title, because with 4 minutes 24 seconds between him and his closest rival, Jonas Vingegaard of Denmark, I don't see how Jonas, because today the mountain stages ended yesterday, and then it's going to be a real challenge for Jonas to beat him. As we round out now, something difficult happened in the world of sports entertainment 2 days ago. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, we lost him at the age of 71. If we can have, yes, that is the Hulkamania. Say, what you gonna do when the Hulkamaniacs run wild on you? That is the man credited alongside Vic McMahon of popularizing professional wrestling across the world. We have to give him credit. May his soul rest in peace. We remember his great rivalries with Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, Iron Sheik, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Rock, of course, even John Cena. That is Triple H, Hunter Hemsley. Of course, we say, may the soul of Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, rest in peace. He brought a lot of pleasure to so many people around the world, making wrestling one of the iconic sports around the world. All right, guys. I'm being told that our time is up from the studio here. So much more to tell you, but this is about where we'll be pulling the curtains on this edition of Weekend Sports Roundup. I know that this is just our very first edition. Bear with us for any challenges, but we sincerely hope you had a wonderful time as we keep our fingers crossed, hoping that in a 2 hours time, Super Falcons will be doing us proud as they lift that trophy for the 10th time. My name is Ernesto. So, of course, a lot of thanks go to my colleague here, Callistus, and of course, my colleagues in Lagos for the great job you have done. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Until next Saturday, this is your sincerely saying, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.